the unity of Nigeria, one Nigeria. Nobody should, you're hitting up the polity. Hey. And some of you bought into that nonsense. Because you're foolish. As a Nigerian, you're an idiot. You have no brain. I challenge you to an open debate. Come, I travel all over the world. Come out and debate me. Shoyinka never uttered a word against Fulani bandits until their cattle ate his cabbage and carrot. Until they ate his cabbage and carrot in his farm. Now he started speaking up. Typical black people. That is where we are. Typical, very typical. But we are changing that mindset and mentality. That is our job. And we're going to, the time now is 3 minutes past 8 p.m. the land of Biafra. That's how you know we are live. Anywhere you are, if you look at your timepiece right now, it is 3 minutes past the top of the hour. Imagine if they had succeeded in killing me. Can you imagine that? How will this gospel be preached? That is why I owe my life to Elohim and to gallant men of the volunteer command of IPOB. They said I have to leave because you have to preach this gospel that the world may hear it. If not, by now I'll be a dead man. And all of you in Nigeria, being as idiotic and useless as you are, by now you would have forgotten. You people is the principal reason why I believe that black people are mentally defective. We are not. All of you in Nigeria, being as idiotic and useless as you are, by now you would have forgotten. You people is the principal reason why I believe that black people are mentally defective. We are not sound mentally. You may cry and curse and complain. In the next 6 months, you come back and tell me, oh, but you're right, oh. Nigeria is the reason why I believe that the black race is cursed. Because the bundle of stupidity in the brain of somebody who calls him or herself a Nigerian is enough to convince me that black people are useless. Children are listening, and I want parents are going to answer difficult questions tonight after this program. Your children will ask you, but daddy or mommy, what are you doing? What did this little girl do that is being held in captivity now for nearly 3 years? What's her crime? What will you tell your child? It's the crime of Leah Shwaibu. What did she do wrong? What crime did Leah Shwaibu commit? Her only crime is to be born a Nigerian. That's her only crime in life. And those responsible for her plight are the ones telling you, don't break Nigeria, because they know if you break Nigeria, Fulani will have no hold over you. Do you understand? It's a simple trick. Fulani understands. Britain, that is working for Fulani, they understand. Once Nigeria breaks, a Fulani man cannot come from Timbuktu to Zombe forest. It's not possible. How? These are the things we've been trying to get you to understand for years. For very many years. But your idiocy and your natural black stupidity will not allow you to. Some of you will be upset tonight. You know me now. Do I give it us? Does it bother me? You can, maybe tomorrow you gossip, or to cost one thing. You can never be me. Not now. Not even in your next life. Ugotinya, if you don't know, let me tell you. Mietiala are the terrorists. They said it. In the southeast, we support any policy by the government that seeks to stop the clashes between, because we have said enough is enough. That was why we formed ESN. Enough is enough. We are not going to have it. Now they are saying we will abide by any law. And we are saying it is too late. I don't want to see Fulani moving cattle around, no. They will be chased and they will be destroyed. It's an order, I'm saying it. Copy me and send it to the whole world, I don't care. Anywhere, my order to ESN is this: anywhere you see Fulani in the open grazing their cattle, destroy them. One Nigeria, yes. So that's the gift of one Nigeria. The only thing we now gained from one Nigeria is our Yoruba brethren in the Republic as refugees. They are now occupying our forests. Because what we did by the actions of IPOB, what we did was to get them to act 2 years before they plan to strike. 2 years. What they wanted to do is in 2022 they would rise up and destroy everywhere. BBC will not carry it, CNN will not carry it, America will just say it's about multiculturalism. They need to live together. And our land is gone. Our identity is gone. After all, Nigeria is seen as an Islamic state. A whole terrorist coming out to say we are the bandits. These are the same people that Astor Rock, the so-called presidency of Nigeria, said that they are legitimate stakeholders in the governance of Nigeria. Go and Google it. Mietiala is a legitimate stakeholder in Nigeria. Go and Google it. By Garuba Shehu. I don't know if it's the acting Buhari now. I don't know. All of you are Nigerians. We Nigerians. This is our politics. We Nigerians. We are Nigerians. You believe it. Stupidity on top of stupidity. Terrorists are the ones ruling you. They are the ones to shout, treasonable felony. Now tell me, what is more treasonous than bandits? What is more treasonable than what Fulani did to Leah Shaibu? Please explain to somebody. Please explain to me. What is more treasonable or treasonous? Has the law to treasonous? He's treasonable. Do you know what it is? He's treasonable. Fulani. He's treasonable. Idiots. I never went to school. This UG, I feel sorry for you people. Black. People who cannot reason very well. A terrorist group came out in the open. We are the rulers of Nigeria. Terrorist group, terror. They travel with a motorcade. We shall deal with them in the land of the rising sun. We have started, we're not going to stop. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. We are about to teach them a new dimension of madness they have never seen before. If they bring this war to us, I told you people many years ago, and I'm repeating tonight, for every one suicide bomber you have in Boko Haram, I'll give you 10 in Biafra land when the time comes. Fulani cannot take our land, not while I'm alive, it cannot happen. God is my witness. Fulani cannot take 1 inch of Biafra land. Or send us into exile, it can never happen. Terrorists are in charge of your lives, and you're busy speaking grammar. Treasonous because you're on television. They like a retired prostitute with her finger painted on the Arise TV talking rubbish. Treasonable. Is that not Ngokoko? Upon a command to Jesus. There are idiots everywhere. We will kill all non-state actors in the forest, says Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Lucky Irabo. He will kill all non-state actors. So you have not killed Boko Haram. Sometimes, are you sure it's not the pepper, the amount of pepper we put in soup back home that is making us this foolish? It could be the pepper. Because other people that don't eat that much pepper, they're not as foolish as this. When we eat pepper soup, we'll be sweating and we'll still be eating it. Maybe that pepper is going to our brain to scatter it. This idiot is Major General Lucky Irabo. He's the Chief of Defense Staff. He has not defeated Boko Haram in tiny Sambisa forest. We will kill all non-state actors in the forest. But other Sambisa, you cannot take Sambisa. So if you make this statement, we will all be shaking. Hey, they're about to come. They're asking them to come. Come now. We are waiting. Come and take our forest. Let's see. For your Fulani masters. This idiot is married to a Fulani Janjaweed. This fool, Lucky Rabo. He's from Niger Delta. Any day they sack him now, they say he's an Igbo man. Oh dear. I have seen enough stupidity in Nigerians that I don't think that. No wonder the rest of the world is doing very well. God packed the whole foolishness in the brains of people that call themselves Nigerians. Wild beasts, animals everywhere. Chief of Defense Staff who will kill all non-state actors in the forest in a country that it claims they're not at war, where they have the law court. So there is no, what I'm telling you is that Nigeria has no laws, man. Imagine an American general, Chief of Defense Staff in America coming out and saying, we will kill everybody in the forest in America. They will tie the idiot and put him in a mental home and say, you're not well. But this one is the Chief of Defense Staff. Because he was around. Chief of Defense Staff. I will kill everybody. But ordinary Sambisa, you cannot take Sambisa. Ordinary Sambisa forest, you can't take it. Sambisa held by a ragtag band of illiterate Islamic terrorists. They want to come and take over. Is it that there's one stupid fake video I'm seeing that said they have brought plane? I mean, maybe you can be up now. You drop your bomb and you fly away. Come down on foot. KKU. You people will not cry. That I'm stupid set of idiots. He said it's a lucky rabble. The military has concluded arrangements to neutralize non-state actors and other agents of violence in the country. Look at this idiot. Sambisa, ordinary Sambisa forest, forest, Sambisa forest, you cannot take it. It is the whole of Nigeria you take. These people are jerks. So when they say it, we'll be afraid, we'll be shaking. Oh, they're coming, oh, their country will do. Come now. Come. They will bury you there. You think that now is like before. You talk all this nonsense and people will be panicking. They have not seen war. We have seen war. You know, Lord, there was war. In my compound, there was war. I have seen it. And when the time comes, I will release a videotape of when they were shooting at me at Obakala Junction, Nigerian Army. Chukwu Kalema said I will not die, and I didn't. But at the right time, I released the video. We will kill on non-state actors. But Boko Haram is busy sacking your barracks in the north, in the Sharia Janjaweed north. You cannot stop Boko Haram from sacking your barracks. You have not taken Sambisa forest. Then you are making a bold claim. Who neutralize? Come and neutralize now. As you are leaving the barracks, people are taking it over. Come out now and neutralize. Let's see. You people come into our looking like a vulture, soaked with rainwater. Hiding. Some of you read the reports on Sunday. What did I tell you? ESN is active everywhere on the ground in our land. Even today, Sahara reporters that loves writing about Southeast. Today they said that ESN is also in the South, you know. We're everywhere. If your village is under siege, we are coming. I assure you we are coming. And our people are responding very well. They have woken up at last in America. As I told them that they will. I cursed them in America for eating too much hamburger and drinking so much soda. And I said, after saying what I said, you people will still fund the defense of our land. And now they are doing it. They will fund it. All of you, you will fund it. We'll defend our land. You want me to leave my land to Fulani to take over? Is that what you seriously, is that what you think? Whilst I'm alive? That's rubbish. No, it can never happen. This general, I don't know, his name is a rabble. I want to tell him something. I want people to understand very carefully. That is why I say all the time, when you're coming to listen to us, bring a pen and a paper. What I told the Zoo army will happen to them is now happening in Niger. What happened in Niger, I will tell you, is a very simple story. The Niger government, because Nigeria has never won any war on its own before, not even a battle. Nigerian government went to Niger Republic and Chad and Cameroon begging them to give them soldiers to fight Boko Haram around Sambisa Forest. Niger Republic stupidly agreed and sent their troops south. As they sent their troops south, bandits of Fulani went now and they took over their land. It's something, our people should not panic. There is a method in our madness. I said we will draw them to the east. This army of the few Janjaweed left, they will march to the south. And as they are marching to the south, they will leave a vacuum in the north. The terrorists will take over. And the north will no longer be habitable for the next 92 years. You doubt me? Go to Syria, to Yemen. Go to Somalia. That's what's going to happen. You call them bandits, but we know they're terrorists. So as they move the zoo army into our land, their flank at the back will be open. I don't want to bore you with military terminologies now this evening. Before they will start saying, when did he go to military school? When did he go to military school? But their army, because they are very foolish, they are fallen, they are Janjaweed, they are very hopeless. They will come down south. They will come. And when they come, they open their back to terrorists from the north. And I have never seen, this idiot is talking about bombing every forest, which is impossible militarily. Any army, anywhere, no matter how powerful you are, if you're on a battlefield, you only face one direction. If you're fighting an enemy at the front and another one at the back, you're finished. But he claims he's a general. He went to Sandhurst, he went to Mobs, all these stupid places he claimed they always claim they went to. This is the general talking like a kindergarten fool, like somebody who never actually been to a classroom before. You're a military man. You want to move your army down south. When you have a formidable Boko Haram at your back, you're coming to meet us in the east. You're coming, you will see us, of course you will see us. You meet resistance in the west. And you are in the middle. Boko Haram is chasing you from the north, from your rear flank. We are chasing you from the east. Odudu was chasing you from the west. And you claim you're an army that you will survive. And you're a general. Dear. I know that Nigerians are stupid, but your generals are even more stupid. You can drop bombs from air, that is true. But also as a general, you know you must commit troops on the ground to win any war. You can drop as much bombs as you like from the air. You must come down. You must place boots on the ground. That's what we're waiting for you. And you allow me. Come, we are waiting. I said before that people think I'm just fighting for Biafra, no? The strategy we're deploying is very simple. At the end of the day, there will be no Nigeria. The name Nigeria will be erased from history books. Let their army come. Some idiots who don't understand are thinking, we cannot fight a guerrilla war in the terrain we don't know. These fools who are saying we should be offensive all the time now, we should attack them in the north. No, of course not. They will come to our land. We know the terrain. Had our eternal leader allowed Timothy Onwatuegu to take the second army of Biafra, the buff, into the bushes, by now Biafra will be free. To sack a government is very easy. You can come and run away from the office. But to win a guerrilla war is almost impossible. Impossible! It's impossible to win. Ask Americans in Vietnam and they will tell you. And as the French diplomat said during the war in 1968, a white man said, I have never seen a more braver army than the army of Biafra. The French deputy ambassador. Go and ask, Google it. Before I came here, I was told that Biafrans fight like warriors. But having been to Biafra, I can tell you that warriors fight like Biafrans. As Nixon said, had you people stayed on for 6 more months, America would have come in. But everything is for the will of God to prevail in our lives. But our time has come. If we miss this opportunity, as a race, we are finished. Remember when I told you that they will come? None of you believed me. Or most of you did, of course. IPOB, this very wonderful family did. I said they will come. If we do not rise up now to kill Nigeria, Nigeria will kill everybody. That is why I commend what the Duduwa agitators are doing. It's the Middle Belt. They've been ravaged now. They have been ravaged. I don't know what God wants to do with Middle Belt. Maybe he wants to destroy them completely. I have no idea. The time is also now for them to rise up and join the moving train. Look at Niger Republic, so don't panic. When they write all this nonsense, we are coming to bring this stupid army, bring it down, let us see. Don't you bleed as well? Don't you bleed? I'm asking them. You will die. Niger Republic made the mistake of coming to the Lake Chad region to come and fight alongside Nigerian troops against Boko Haram, which they cannot even defeat. They left their back open and bandits moved in because nature abhors vacuum. That is why every sensible person must invite them to come. Let them come. There will be no more Fulani. You see the Sultan. It's the same bandits that will kill him. Sultan, bandits will kill the idiots. They think they're smart. We are live and direct. The time now is 24 minutes past the top of the hour. Regardless of where you are, we are preaching the gospel of heaven, that the truth may prevail. I asked you a simple question from the beginning. Do you see what is happening to Leah Schweibo, a Christian virgin girl from the Middle Belt, taken by terrorists, fallen terrorists, impregnated, now twice? Let me ask you again, do you think that you can take a Fulani virgin, Fulani girl, selling Fulani money to your forest in your village, raping her, getting her pregnancy, giving birth? Do you know what happened to your village? They will level it. The entire place, they will level it. This is the mistake the likes of Obasanjo have been making for years. All these idiots shouting one Nigeria, either in PDP or APC, all these idiots, all these Iran boys, glorified Iran boys, shouting one Nigeria. You don't know how foolish you are. You have no idea. I remember when I told World Igbo Congress that Fulanis were coming, they said I was a madman. I said they are coming. They said, oh, he's a madman, he doesn't know, he's trying to cause war. He did not see the war. He was a child during the war. He did not go to war. Has the war not come to you now? Has it not come to you now? Who is the fool? But of course they are not anymore, because World Igbo Congress is doing very well to support the efforts we are making on the ground. Biafrans all over the world, everywhere. You heard about evangelism in Akwa-Ibom. Evangelism, hey, glory be to God in heaven. Everywhere the message, the gospel, we are preaching it, either on radio or on the streets. Those that received it gave their life to Christ, and they're with God now for judgment. I raised the dragon flag. People don't know the meaning of it. Some of you don't understand the meaning of the dragon flag. You don't have no idea. From the day we raised the dragon flag, from that day we stopped writing to UN about what they're doing to us in the zoo. Because the world doesn't give a damn about you. They have bought over, almost every diplomat in Nigeria has been bought over by the zoo. All corrupt, all of them. US ambassador has been bought over. UK ambassador, UK has all bought over, all of them. All corrupt human beings. Very corrupt to the core. We write letter. Bring my evidence, you bring my evidence. Bring my evidence, we bring. Bring more, we bring. Okay, I want to see live interview. We show them. Bring more evidence. Bring the girl, we brought the girls to them. That the army raped. Nothing till today, nothing. Which means, if you don't know what to do, please stop coming to us. And now, we know what to do. We have come to die for what we believe in. Are you prepared to die for Nigeria? Then come down to where we are. Stupid idiots. You think now is 1967? You must be dreaming. They send their fake news. Army killed 16 IPOBs, Eastern Security Network operatives in Abia. A lie. So if you write it now, so we'll be panicking. Oh, they're killing us, so let us stop. Oh. Let me tell you one thing about us you don't understand. The more you kill us, the angrier we become. You see, that is one thing that these idiots don't understand. Let me tell the Fulani one thing they don't know because they are foolish. They're not sensible. Leave all these things that Britain is doing. If the only reason why it appears as if the Fulani Janjaweed are doing very well is because of the foolishness of people from the south. Very foolish set of people. That's all. If not, Fulani can. Let me say something you don't know. I want to let Fulani understand something this evening. You see your hand. Take your right index finger. Look for any part of your body. Use your finger to be rubbing at that same spot all the time. Keep rubbing it every blessed day. Keep rubbing that. Keep disturbing that very place. After a while, that place will become harder than the surrounding skin. It's in nature. I repeat, use your right index finger, not your thumb, index finger, the second one following it. Be rubbing it on any part of your skin you like. Every day, keep rubbing that same spot. Keep rubbing it, keep rubbing it. After a while, your skin will rebel and say enough is enough. It will develop hardness. It becomes very tough. That is why, even when you're putting on a shoe, maybe a new shoe, and that shoe keeps rubbing at a particular place on your foot, after a while, that place will grow tough skin to meet the challenge that the shoe is bringing to it. That's how life is. So all these years you were killing us at Mpo, at everywhere we go to, you shoot us, we die at Haba National High School. Oh, you thought that will make us become cowards and we'll run back. Ah, no, you're mistaken. It's human nature. We rise up and we fight back. And we are coming with a force you don't even understand. And I'm saying it on live broadcast.
It's a cause on the beats loading. Kedihem genyekiye okaume omama mazurarube. Nisime amoye gako. Mbe sama sineke. Amo amagaichila. Eroge sineke mo. Amo tuto gaichila. Eroge. Wana yese. Suromu etuya. Odema. Imoni. Suromu etuya. Odema. Agamako, Yeshuku Miremo, Leonaya Sineke, Kalisa Sulum Tochu, Medine Mokuki, Elazamene Ayanaso, Imembamo Gammokuki, Okwesalamu, O Chineke, Oyedekagi, Chineke. Angula ngolunduma Ebulite ozwa tuba Ezengezi Angula ngolundu Mama siamase Raputaro wono chukuna Oyunu ganefe Munezi nunomo I gefe chuku Okaka kebi nigwe na Manite na bubu Alpha no Omega Na nigi kai gefe Anokwana no biabuo Anokwana n'iruju Bebiere onwe gị taa Bara onye ga-efe mụ na onwe m Jehova ka ga-efe Oke osisi na-enye Ọgbara gị tupu
Ogara Yangada, Malite Nogu, Ogara Yangada, Uno Wemo, Okosisi Nenye, Malite Nogu, Imamaya, Tebube, Imama Jesus, Imamaya, Tebube. Unyomo, Unyeze, draw me nearer, my God.
Draw me nearer to thee,
Jesus,
my soul's every day. Father, draw me nearer,
I pray.
draw me nearer to thee.
Omewoya, Jehovah Jireh, Omewoya, Abumi Embo, Omewoya, Nubia, Jehovah Omewoya, Thou art worthy, worthy, O Lord, and power,
all this and for the pressure, they are
Utosoru, Amen.
Jesus broken,
Iesoru, Abube,
Jesus broken.
Wala Yese,
Why not Nimeya?
Ewo, enwere m onye na-edu n'ije, inwere onye na-edu n'ije, enwere m onye na-edu m ije, naanị Jizọs na-edu m n'aga.
Enwere onye na-edu m ije, enwere onye na-edu m ije, enwere onye na-edu m ije.
Ibuchi m, ibuchi m, ibuchi anya m ji ahụ ụzọ, agada gbachiri ụzọ nwoke obiọma, olileanya nke ndị nsọ, ahịa hụrụ ọkụ ma uhie enweghị ọkụ, ọ gịnị ka m ga-eji tụọra gị zoro gị, aga m akpụ isi ala nye gị ekele. Ibuchi m, Jehova mee,
Ibuchi m, ibuchi anya nche ahụ ụzọ, agada gbachiri ụzọ nwoke obiọma, olileanya nke ndị nsọ, ahịhịa nwụrụ ọkụ ma ahụ ya rere ọkụ, gịnị ka m ga-eji tọrọ gị zoro gị, aga m abịa isi ala nye gị
o meworo m ihe m yọrọ ya, Jehova, Jehova na Jehova, aṅụrụ aṅụrụ ndụ, ọkaka jigide m, onye nwe m Jizọs jigide m, jigide m, onye nwe m Jizọs nọnyere m na ọsọ gị ka anyị ga-agba, mmeri gị ka m ga-emeri ụwa, nye m ike oge m niile, ka m garida,
jigide, onye nwe m Jizọs jigide,
na Namujisienu mike.
Chigide, wewe mchizo chigide.
Asagi.
Asagi, kaigaba.
Kaigaba mberi.
Kaigebeduwa.
Desedna.
Demike, ogenike. Kamalida.
Akaya. Akaji oba nemre mumma. Olu ebube ya. Kene rugari nebedno. Isi ikendu. Kena digi ya kaza ewo. Akaya. Akaji oba nemre mumma. Nemre mumma.
Akaya. Agaji obalebema.
Onemema.
Olebube ya. Kaneruwa nile baino.
Isi ikendu.
Erani akata.
Ewo.
Akaya. Agaji obalebema.
Onemema.
Akaya. Agaji obalebema.
Onemere mumma.
Olebube ya. Kaneruwa nile baino.
Isi ikendu.
Erani akata.
Ewo.
It's the cars on the beats loading.
Kwebruru n'igwe. Akama onye nzọpụta. Ngekene ya. Ihe o mere. O ziri m ụzọ ndụ wee gbapụta m na njọ. Mama Jizọs onye ebere m gasị ya. Jesi ya. Imorisi ya. Ọ dịghị onye yiri ya. Ọ dịghị onye yiri ya. Ọ dịghị onye yiri Chineke nke n'igwe. Ọ dịghị onye anyị ga-eji ma ya tụsi ọ bụ ya yiri ya Chibo.
Ọ dịghị onye yiri ya.
Ọ dịghị Chibe.
Ọ dịghị onye yiri Chineke nke n'igwe. Ọ dịghị onye a ga-eji mara tụsọ bụ ya yiri ya.
Ebighị ebi ka ịbụ. Ebighị ebi ka ịbụ. Ebighị ebi ka ịbụ. Ebighị ebi nara ekele.
Ebighị ebi ka ịbụ.
Ebighị ebi.
Ebighị ebi nara ekele.
Ihe anyị na-eme bụ ihe mmụọ. Onye anyị na-achụrụ aja bụ oke mmụọ.
Ihe anyị na-eme bụ ihe mmụọ. Onye anyị na-achụrụ aja bụ oke mmụọ.
Ihe anyị na-eme bụ ihe mmụọ. Onye anyị na-achụrụ aja bụ oke mmụọ.
Ihe anyị na-eme bụ ihe mmụọ. Onye anyị na-achụrụ aja bụ oke mmụọ.
Eluigwe na-etokwa ya.
Eluigwe si na Chukwu dị mma.
Hey!
Anya ụtụtụ ọnwa na abalị si na ọ dị mma.
Kpakpando.
Kpakpando nke igwe ha niile si na Chukwu dị mma. Unu ndị ji ọbara asa njọ. Bịanụ ka ihe ya ekele.
Imoni.
Ka nye ya otito. Ọ dị mma.
Ajaja.
Nwanne m nwoke ọ dịrị obi bụ mma. Ọ dị mma. Nwanne m nwanyị ọ dịrị obi bụ mma. Ọ dị mma.
Chineke ihe mere dị mma. Ihe mere dị mma. Ihe mere dị mma. Aṅụrụ aṅụrụ ndụ. Odogwa kataka. Chikeke si. are the Lord, that is your name. You will never share your glory with anyone. You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God, that is your name.
You are the Lord, that is your name. You will never share your glory
with anyone.
You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God,
that is your name. Ibu Jehovah, that is your name. Oh, you will never share your glory with any man. You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God, that is your name.
You are the Lord, that is your name. You will never share your glory with anyone. You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God, that is your name.
How excellent is your name. How wonderful is your name. How glorious is your name. Oh Lord, how excellent is your name. How wonderful is your name. How excellent is your name. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
How excellent is your name.
How excellent.
How excellent is your name.
Hey.
How excellent is your name. Oh Lord. How excellent is your name. How excellent is
your name.
How excellent
is your name.
Oh Lord.
Baba, 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 oh.
Baba.
Eshewu Baba. Baba,
Eshewu Baba.
Mwano.
Baba, Dube Baba.
Oya Baba, 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 oh.
Baba. Eshewu Baba.
Baba,
Baba, Dube Baba.
Awa Dube Baba, oh Baba,
Eshewu Baba. Eshewu Baba. Baba, Dube Baba.
Tiwara muzo sirike. Tiwara muzo. Tiwara muzo.
Tiwara muzo.
Tiwara money uzo. Tiwara my mommy uzo. Tiwara Nigeria uzo. Tiwara Igbo uzo. Tiwara muzo. Ejimo para ya ejimo. Ejimo para ya nisi. Ejimo para ye monu. Ejimo para Jesus. Ejimo para ya nisi. Oya chukwu no gaza. Oya chukwu no gaza gebere. Besa yo yoma. Oya chukwu no gaza. Ogaza me.
Oya chukwu no gaza.
Ogaza me.
Oya chukwu no gaza.
Ogaza me.
Oya chukwu no gaza.
There is something that makes me come into your presence.
My helper.
My helper, eh.
My helper.
My helper, eh.
My helper. There is something that makes me come into your presence. My helper.
My helper, eh.
My helper.
Oh, my helper, eh.
My helper. There is something that makes me come into your presence. My helper.
Nnalekwa n'ọtụtụ mmadụ amalitewo imegide m. Ha na-asị ọ dịghị nzọpụta nwere na gị, ma n'ime gị nna ka m tụkwasara obi m niile. Chimekwekwana ka ndị ụwa jụọ m olee Chimo.
Ọtụtụ mmadụ amalitewo imegide ha na-asị ọ dịghị nzọpụta nwere na gị, ma n'ime gị nna ka m tụkwasara obi m niile. Chimekwekwana ka ndị ụwa jụọ m olee Chimo.
Jehovah, Jehovah, oh Jehovah, oh Jehovah, ancient of days, as old as you are, as old as you are, hey, you will never fail. Almighty God, as old as you are, as old as you are, Father, you will never change, you will never change.
Ancient of days, as old as you are,
Oh,
as old as you are,
oh, Father,
you will never change.
you will never change.
Ancient of days, as old as you are, as old as you are,
Father, you will never change. Akamarama kaiga kuru Chineke be. Urara ya akamarama. Akamarama. Urara ya akamarama. Akamarama. Jehovah buliwo melu. Buliwo gelu. Chineke buliwo melu. Buliwo gelu. Jehovah buliwo melu. Buliwo melu. Jehovah need you. Jehovah need the 3 months. Oh, Jehovah need you. Oh, Jehovah need you. Oh, yeah, he no be a sirike. Oh, yeah, he no be a karaka.
Oh, yeah, no be a sirike. Oh, yeah, no be a karaka.
Oh, yeah, he no be a no sirike. Oh, yeah, he no be a imano korako.
Oh, yeah, no be a sirike. Oh, yeah, no be a
Oh, Madame Yonyesi. Oh, yes, and no. Jehovah Shaman, no. Oh, yes, and no. Odoka Kataka, no. Oh, yes, and no. Jehovah Nisi, no. Oh, yes, and no. Oh, yeah. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Iwanyi simpe. Odoka Kataka. Echa QPSK. One go to onye. Jesus. The Lion of Judah.
It's a cause on the beats loaded.
Ọdịghị onye ọsọ n'elu ụwa, ọdịghị onye ọsọ.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra Hausa service coming to you via the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land. We are going direct without wasting time today, being the 9th day of the 11th month, being November 2021. Without wasting any time, we must go direct to our head of directorate, Mazi Chika Edoziem, to address humanity. Mazi, please, over to you.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan, and I hope I'm coming out clear, please.
You are crisp. Please, go on.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to you all wonderful and great people of Biafra. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama, the creator of heaven and earth, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Tonight, I am on air tonight with our brother, Mazi Kingsley Takano. And of course, I'll let him introduce himself. Mazi, please introduce yourself before I go ahead to address great people of Biafra.
Thank you very much. Mazi Chika Edoziem, the head of the Directorate of State. My name is Takano. I am from Yamal-402 Umahibeko province in Biafra land. And I am a messenger of Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tonight, I want to, of course, talk about what is very, very important to us, very, very imperative to the people of Biafra, which is the court case or the court process that all aware that at the last court sitting of the Zoo Federal Court in Abuja, the court adjourned the case of our leader, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, to the 10th of November 2021, and that is being tomorrow. Now, as usual, great Biafrans, we must do what we have been known to be doing. Our solidarity, our presence in the court must be felt by even the blind and the deaf. They must see us, they must hear us, they must know that Biafrans are solidly and unequivocally in support and in the same boat with our leader, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu. Therefore, we must, especially those of us in Abuja area, and those of us in the northern area, and of course, those of us who can still make it from tonight up to tomorrow, we must mobilize ourselves and showcase our presence for tomorrow's court sitting. And of course, like we have always been doing, the IPOB worldwide is known as a very disciplined movement. This is what our leader has inculcated in us. Therefore, tomorrow's court case will not be different in the sense that we will shame our enemies and detractors with our well-imbibed discipline. And of course, whether they like it or not, we must be present and we must solidarize and support the leader of this great movement, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu. And on In addition to that, we already know that the people in Biafra land will also show their complete solidarity in solidarity with our leader. And of course, we will make sure that everybody in Biafra land tomorrow is showing that solidarity. And we therefore, what we have already announced, that during Oyendu's court appearances, we must make sure that Biafra land is physically seen to be in solidarity with him. Therefore, tomorrow we'll continue, we will do what we used to do in Biafra land and lock down the whole of Biafra land in solidarity with our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, I have to say that what is happening in Imo State, what is going on as I speak to you this evening in Imo State is beyond reason. It cannot be understood at all. Why am I saying this? This man who called himself the administrator in Imo State, this fraudster, this quota governor or quota administrator in Imo State, he has been going from house to house, kidnapping and abducting Biafrans, whether they are members, family members of the indigenous people of Biafra. He does not make any difference. What they do is that once they see that you're a young man or a young woman, then you are a target. And the worst case of all this is that if they go after a particular person and they do not get that person at home, they kidnap the rest family members that are present. I do not see and I do not understand what kind of jungle that this man has turned Imo State into. A very peaceful land before, but he has brought his Fulani masters into our land to be causing unsurmountable havoc, unimaginable sorrow and sadness among families. He has made it a duty to be spilling blood in our land. Now, I am saying this tonight, being the 9th of November, that people must call hopeless Udodima to order. People must call him to order. People must call hopeless Uzodinma to order before it is too late. I said this 3 times. They must call him to order before it is too late. Because it cannot continue that our youths can no longer be safe in their own fatherland because one idiot just decided to make life unbearable for them. Because one fraudster decided that for his masters to still see him as a very, very worthy slave, he must be spilling the blood of our youths, the blood of our mothers, the blood of our children, and the blood of our fathers. The people that think that they are stakeholders in Biafra land, and specifically those who have spoken in times of, in this kind of time when evil are reigning, they must speak now. They must speak now so that nobody will hold IPOB accountable when the Biafran people begins to say enough is enough for all these killings, all these kidnappings, all this torture and maimings and murder that this man, Hope Uzodinma, has brought into Imo State. Great Biafrans, I will stop at this very moment and, of course, invite Mazi Kingsley Kanu to please take the floor. Mazi, if you can hear me, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, according to your time zone. My name is Kanu. I am from Yamal-402, Umaya province in Biafra land. First and foremost, I have to use this wonderful opportunity to thank Biafrans, friends of Biafrans that stood strongly when the foundation of this great movement, IPOB, was shaken through the extraordinary rendition of our leader, Mazi Chika, who is the face of Biafra and the symbol of self-determination. I knew it was a difficult period for our struggle, but it was unfortunate that most of us acted ignorantly. Thanks to Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we are back again, stronger than ever. There is one IPOB, one leader, and one DOS. The highest command in this struggle is DOS. In this situation we find ourselves now. It has been so for many years. Their decision is final, whether it suits us or not. Challenging their decision means challenging IPOB highest command and IPOB worldwide, because anybody can be a member of DOS if you are qualified to be so. So whatever thing they said, we must carry it out. Meaning that command and control stands for a very simple reason, that we are not political party, rather a freedom fighting movement. Although people come out sometimes to air their opinion, probably in the wrong way, thinking that they are fighting IPOB structure. No, you are getting it wrong. If you are fighting IPOB structure, you are fighting the whole Biafrans. IPOB structure is not our problem. Our problem are the Fulanis, the oppressors that are killing us. These are our problems. These people are our problems. And these are the people we have to confront at all times. It is very, very important that we know this. I want to make it clear to everybody that in Kanu's family, DNA, there is no betrayal. The same old Kanus that are gone today gave their own land to Biafra in Obulishokwe, in this Yamal-402 where the Juku bunker was built and still standing till this day, without betraying our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. That is the same Kanu's family you are seeing today, headed by Mazi Chika. What am I trying to say here is, if you are not sure of something, please, we should be conscious while we speak. That brings me to IPOB Media. I have to thank you people, especially because of the battle you people are fighting with Nigerian government. If you check the way they operate now, they've changed their system completely. Watch their military. Before they go into Biafra land to invade us, you can see the kind of masterpiece they write and publish in the newspapers. These are not being written by Nigerians. These are being written by the missionaries they hired from United Kingdom and United States of America. They are the ones writing this to prepare the minds of the people before they go into strike. This is one thing we really have to confront. And everybody that is in social media should use this social media to address the issues that matters, and not for people to be attacking individuals or attacking this governing body of IPOB. If you are doing that, you are doing it at your own peril. But you should know that IPOB has come to stand. What you people are doing by attacking this structure is just like a little storm in a cup of tea. It can't move IPOB because IPOB is very solid. Nobody. If zoo government could not break IPOB, no individual could do that. So it's better to use your platform very well and not to use it to attack innocent people or the body of IPOB, the governing body of IPOB, DOS. And I have to use this opportunity to send our sincere condolence to the family of Jonathan Cooper, a great man, our consultant in the UK, that passed away in September. That was devastating for our struggle. This was a man that worked very hard to help Biafrans, but indeed, he ended up giving his best. Biafrans will miss you so much. May your gentle soul rest in peace. And my thanks goes to our legal teams in Nigeria. They are doing a wonderful job. Bindman solicitors in UK and Lukrio in Kenya for their tremendous effort in making sure that those that rendered our leader Mazi Kanu are brought to book. We should follow instructions of DOS at all times. For example, DOS canceled the sit at home on 6th of November. People were angry. I can understand that. Only few people understood exactly the game plans of the Fulani. But DOS did, and others didn't. And at the end of the day, we saw the reports that came out. Even the so-called governors that proscribed us in 2017 came out and confessed that it's not IPOB that is killing in Biafra land. That is their foreign missionaries. Because what they were thinking is that IPOB will come out. So when they kill, they will accuse IPOB. But it was a master game that DOS played by calling off the sit at home, and which exposed a lot of things. If you look at Ihiala, there was no ballot, there was no election in Ihiala. What was the reason? They thought the sit at home would have continued. They would have had the opportunity to rig the election there. But thank Chukwu Edoziem for that wonderful idea from DOS to cancel that sit at home. And that is why it is very, very important we listen to them when they speak. Nobody, I repeat, nobody can stop IPOB because it is a divine project. We have to continue to pray for our leader Mazi Kanu and others who are in DSS dungeon and other prisons, while we wait for his release. May Chukwu Edoziem continues to bless this wonderful family of IPOB, now and forevermore. He said, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi Kingsley Kanu, for that wonderful speech to the Biafran people. I want to reiterate what I said earlier, that those who care must call Hope Uzodimma to order now. And all those that he has, through the military, kidnapped, arrested, and kept wherever they desire, he must release all of these individuals without any harm. Hope Uzodimma must release everyone that he has kidnapped in Imo State unharmed. I am saying this before the rain will fall, because Hope Uzodimma, the anger of the people of Biafra will soon be let loose on you. The Biafran people, they are having enough of your shenanigans and your nonsense. People must warn him, and people must advise him to release everyone that they have picked up. None of them, nothing shall happen, nothing must happen to any of those individuals that he has arrested. And these continuous kidnappings must stop. It must stop. It must cease. People have not committed any crime, even if they are IPOB family members, belonging to a freedom fighting movement, belonging to a movement that is looking for self-determination is not a crime. Therefore, he must cease from harassing our people. Therefore, he must stop from kidnapping and arresting our people and torturing our people. Therefore, he must cease from spilling the blood of the innocent Biafrans in Imo State. He must stop that. He must not say that he was not warned. There will be fundraising coming this weekend. On Saturday, the 13th, there will be a couple of fundraisings. One will be taking place by IPOB family in Oceanic, that is Australia to be precise. They will be having their fundraising on the 13th of this very month. And also the IPOB liaison team in the United States, they have as well scheduled a fundraising for the 13th. Of course, thankfully, we have 2 different time zones, so the fundraising timing will not clash, but it's going to be on the same day. I probably think there is another country in Africa that is also having a fundraising, but I'm not quite sure. I have to check my agenda again. And but what needs to be done is that Biafrans worldwide and friends of Biafra and lovers of freedom are called upon and encouraged and urged to please join any of these fundraisings that are most convenient for you and support the Eastern Security Network, the security outfit that Onyendu Mazi Kanu put in place to ensure that our land is safe and secure for our people, our mothers, our brothers and sisters, our daughters and our fathers to continue to go to our farmlands to produce the food stuffs that we consume in our land. We must continue to support ESN. Therefore, I am calling upon Biafrans and friends of Biafra to very generously be part of this coming event on the 13th of November and support the Biafran struggle and support our march to freedom. Also this week, I will make an account public to the Biafran people, and the details of account will be given by the end of this week. Hopefully, we will have sorted out what needs to be sorted out. And this account, as usual, we will give you information on how to utilize it. This will be the account where we will be using to contribute ESN funds for the wonderful, wonderful security outfit that are doing marvelously well in the land of Biafra. Great Biafrans, like Kanonta said, we must continue to put our leader in prayers. We must not cease in our prayers, and we shall ask heaven, we shall ask Chukwuabiama to be merciful unto his children, and specifically and especially unto his servant, Mazi, that victory shall be his, and victory shall be that of the Biafran people. And like I borrow the word of the legal attorney, says it will all end in praises. But Onyendu says, at the end, we shall win. And with Chukwuabiama on our side, victories are sure. And of course, we shall win. So we must continue to pray for him and commit him, his health and his strength into the hand of Chukwuabiama. We must not cease praying until we see our leader out of the hand of the enemy, until he is released to us unconditionally. And we believe that Chukwuokike is on the throne, and this will happen very, very soon. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is our identity. Biafra is our heritage, which we must protect with all the enablement, with all that Chukwuokike has imbued in us. This heritage, we must protect it. This identity, we must protect and preserve it. And it is only Chukwuokike that made the heaven, Elohim, Chukwuabiama. It is only him that we worship. It is only him that we bow down our heads and bow down our feet. And therefore, unto him belongs all glory, and unto him belongs all honor. And we thank him for this day. And unto him we commend all of you in Biafra land into the hand of Chukwuabiama, because you are in the war front. And Chukwuokike shall preserve and protect all of you now and always, on Eke, on Uri, on Afo, and on Unko market days. Thank you, great Biafrans. Remain steadfast, remain resolute, remain focused, because that is what is required in a project like ours. A freedom fighting movement, you must be very, very focused and do not allow yourself to be distracted. The distractions are coming from left and right, but we must not allow ourselves to be distracted. Our eyes must always be on the ball. And with that, heaven will, of course, grant us victory. From me, from here, I want to say good night, and may Chukwuabiama be with all of you. Thank you so much.
wonderful welcome. First, I'd like to send my greetings to all the people of Nigeria. I've been treated with unexcelled hospitality and generosity. So I want to express those sentiments to feel welcomed from the United States. Before I arrived in Abuja, I spent some time in Geneva, where there's a working group on arbitrary detention. It's a 5-member group that's a unit of the United Nations Human Rights Council, and it entertains applications on behalf of persons who have been arbitrarily detained under international law. I submitted an urgent action application on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu, identifying all of the elements of arbitrariness in his current detention, including, for example, his denial of access to counsel, which is triggered the moment he is detained. And so you've all heard from Ejiofor that he was denied counsel even when he was first brought into court. But that's not the only denial of detention rights. It seems quite clear, based upon the history of his detention and the struggle for Biafrans through peaceful means to secure a separate sovereignty, that he was singled out because of his ethnicity, his membership in the Biafran community, which is a discrimination prohibited specifically under international law and indeed also under the Nigerian constitution. If you read the counts in the complaint, now 7, they come at the 11th hour, which is quite irregular. Ordinarily, you accuse someone before a few days before a trial. They consist of activities that are commonplace for all sorts of Nigerians. And why is Nnamdi Kanu the only one charged with such extravagant crimes as treason, levying war against Nigeria? But in addition to those violations of international law, the fact that he was kidnapped, he was tortured, he was extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria without any due process of law is also illustrative of the arbitrariness of his detention. And you can think of the irregularity by contemplating the following. At the time that he was delivered from Kenya to Nigeria, he had not even been charged with 4 of the 7 counts that are now laid against him, that were not advanced and articulated until last week. He couldn't possibly have been extradited even before legal means. Under the urgent action process in the working group, the Nigerian foreign minister was immediately notified of the allegations in our complaint. In an ordinary case, there's 60-day response time, but because there's a jeopardy to Nnamdi Kanu's health, including the lack of access to professional medical care, it's on a fast track. If the foreign minister responds, and at present he is not, then I will be permitted an opportunity to answer. But the working group is endowed with authority to make final definitive pronouncements on international law. And the Nigerian government is a signatory to the critical documents, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which bind the government of Nigeria to adherence. And a pronouncement by the working group of arbitrary detention would be a critical weakness in the movement for even a trial for someone who has been illegally captured and delivered. It is a fundamental principle, a universal principle of law, domestic and international, that the government should not be able to profit from its own wrongdoing or criminality. And if you permit governments to kidnap and torture and then try persons illegally, you're then emboldening governments to serve as kind of vigilante justice, running around all the world, capturing any of their dissidents with no due process and bringing them back to trial. After I completed my work in Geneva, then I traveled to Athens. I am working with the foreign ministries of Greece and Israel. I didn't get to Israel because of some glitch in COVID-19, but I hope to travel there after this Abuja visit terminates, to sue the government of Nigeria in the International Court of Justice that sits in The Hague. The International Court of Justice is not like the International Criminal Court. The International Court of Justice only entertains suits between nations. Most recently, in a case very similar to the one concerning Nigeria, the Gambia sued Myanmar in the International Court of Justice for genocide against the Rohingya, and they won early court battles. So the nations bringing suit don't necessarily have to be the ones suffering from the wrongdoing. And the International Court of Justice has a history of trying genocide cases, stemming back to the wars that erupted after Yugoslavia disintegrated, Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina. There are 9-year terms for 15 members of the High Court that sits in the International Court of Justice. But we think this is important to have a platform that exposes the daily horrors and atrocities that are inflicted on peaceful civilians in the Southeast. I want to underscore that this issue of the upheavals and strife in Nigeria are not intended to point one group against another. The idea is to make everybody better off. There's not enmity, there shouldn't be enmity between the Fulani, the Biafrans, the Yoruba. We can work towards a process where everybody in the long run benefits. And I think one of the models that can be utilized in terms of peaceful way in which to reorganize the Nigerian dispensation that benefits all is Czechoslovakia. After the Cold War ended, they had the Czechs and Slovaks were all under one umbrella, Czechoslovakia. But they decided they simply had different histories, different ethoses, and they needed to separate peacefully, which they did, separated the assets and the liabilities and whatever. So there's no reason why there has to be violence, even if there is a change in the structure of Nigeria. And I want to conclude by welcoming everyone who's in attendance here and the wonderful legal team that Nnamdi Kanu has put together. I'm proud to be a part of.
To all of you, from the head of our DOS, Mazi Chika Edoziem, to the very last unit coordinator, for all the wonderful work that you all did in my enforced absence. You never allowed yourselves to be cowed. You did not allow yourselves to be intimidated. You fought very gallantly to ensure that IPOB remains the preeminent freedom fighting movement anywhere on this very planet Earth. I have a lot to thank all of you for, because you kept the flame burning. We remember those that fell. Every day I remember them, and I hope also that every day all of you must remember them, because they laid down their lives for us, and we must accomplish Biafra for their sake, and the sake of our children, even those who are not born yet. We must remain resolute, very determined, uncompromising and unforgiving in our quest to restore Biafra in truth and in every honesty. I must ask each and every one of you, wherever you are, to search your hearts and to search your souls wherever you are, to understand the essence of IPOB and what we are doing. As I said previously, this is not a broadcast for the whole world, it's just for the IPOB family. Some of us have forgotten what it means to be IPOB, because during my enforced absence, most of us went astray. So although some people started from when I was in detention, it is very, very important that we keep this very flag flying, that we do not follow the trap set for us by our enemies, because a lot of things happened whilst I was away. Some people fell by the wayside, Some people felt that perhaps the zoo has something to offer them, and some people collaborated with the enemy, not just to kill us, but to attempt to set the clock of restoration backwards. But thanks to the grace and mercy of the Most High, they did not succeed. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you, and especially those of you that have been working exceptionally hard to make sure that we stayed on this very course towards our restoration. A lot has happened. When I think about it, sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. Surprisingly and shockingly, not a lot of people were up to this very job, which is rather extremely sad. Being an IPOB is a very unique privilege. A very unique privilege for you to be an IPOB family member. It's a rare honor. When we call each other Umu Chineke or Nwa Chineke, it is a very unique privilege, not an entitlement. Only the pure at heart can be called Nwa Chineke. Not everybody you meet on the street is entitled to be called that very name. IPOB is a very special breed of people. We have come that we may restore Biafra, and there is nothing the zoo and their allies can do about it. We remain the bravest of the very brave. Cowards run away when they see us. From the day I arrived in the zoo exactly 4 years ago, minus 1 week, because I arrived in the zoo on the 14th of October in the year of our Lord 2015. I told them that I was coming, and I came. Some people within some segments of the media were writing a whole lot of junk about us, that we are just on Facebook, that I'm in London. They dared me to come back, and I told them to come back, and I told them that I was coming home, and I did. And I did come home. When I arrived, I was arrested. I was taken to Abuja. I was confined to a very tiny space. I was chained like a common criminal. I was handcuffed. They tried to break me, but they know that that is impossible. They can attest to it. They mocked me that I will rot in jail. Some prayed very fervently, those who are against Biafra, agents of darkness, that I should die in jail. But the walls of prison and detention couldn't keep me. I told Jibril, now, or should I say Buhari, before he died and was buried in Saudi Arabia, that he was a madman. I called him a madman in his own court because I know that he cannot do anything about it. Chukwukikabiyama sent me and not man. So there is nothing any human being can do to me or to the wider body of IPOB for that matter. I told the court of Bintan Yako that they cannot jail me, and they did not. I called the dead Buhari, an illiterate madman, in his own court, and I walked away. They mocked me after I came out of prison, even those that I'm older than, even the age mates of my first son, Nemeka. Maybe because of the way I look, they will say what these young men are doing. Apart from maybe 4 or 5 people in Ohanese, I am older than every other Ohanese executive member. Then when you hear them talk about me and IPOB, you will think we're a bunch of teenagers. I don't blame them. They're a product of a dysfunctional system. They gave me very stringent bail conditions. I hope IPOB family members are listening very quietly, because what I have to tell you is extremely important. So you must pay attention. They gave me the bail conditions so that I wouldn't speak, so that I cannot rally, to muzzle me, so that I'll just be in my father's house and then go to court once in a while. The same thing they did to the now estate developer in Owerri. I told them, no, you cannot cage me, you cannot muzzle me, it's not possible. I went out and I defied every stupid restriction placed on my person, so that IPOB can be alive and our restoration of Biafra well on course. The powers that be didn't like it. Their Igbo collaborators did not like it. Some of them in government houses did not like it. Ohaneze didn't like it, because I said no to voting in Anambra. And I have my reasons, and I'll go to that later. Obiano said I shouldn't come to Ekulobia, that he will kill me with the Zoo army. We broke Ekulobia. Therefore, he said I shouldn't come to Ebonyi. I went to Ebonyi with the longest convoy in history. As I was entering Abakaliki, part of our convoy was still in Enugu. We broke the cordon. 6 fortified military checkpoints. I got down from my vehicle and I walked through all of them. I dared them to shoot me. We went into Abakaliki and we shot Abakaliki down. When we got to the front of the government house, I asked my driver to stop so I can greet some of the people working for Dave Umahi, to let them know that Ebonyi is Biafra. After our rally, on my way out of Abakaliki, they stopped me again and asked me to turn around. And I told them it would not happen. We broke that very cordon too, and we got home safely that very evening. I went to Obigbo. In Iguacha, we locked Iguacha down for 6 hours. There was no movement. Yes, and Wike did not ask army to kill me. He never tried to intimidate me nor to molest me. We rallied peacefully as we normally do, and we went back home. And the Igbo governors got together and said this cannot continue. That Nnamdi Kanu is heating up the polity. They decided to kill me. It was these men that physically applied to Rock to have me killed. They couldn't do it. After all, Buhari was dead, buried in Saudi Arabia. When Jibril came back, a lot of Igbo men that call themselves politicians and political leaders arranged for me to be assassinated. They pleaded and pleaded and pleaded. Because our 30th of May celebration, our sit at home last year was successful. That led those Alamajiri youths, I don't know where they got them from, to issue a quit notice at the instigation of Arewa Consultative Forum. Our people must listen very carefully. Arewa Consultative Forum pressured Niamwood and Ohaneze and Southeast governors to do something about me. When they talk about me, they don't tell you the truth. I was the one that went to HODOS' house when he was in the USA to look for him, to greet him. I went with Evangelist Eliotuko. I went back again when he returned, and we had very sumptuous lunch together. And I told him that this is what I stand for. I want Biafra because of all the maltreatment, because of all the humiliation, because of all the shame that Nigeria over the years have compelled us to go through as a people, that I cannot take it anymore. I want to be free and I want to die a free man. He asked me, what do I intend to do? And I told him, most respectfully, that I will engage in civil disobedience. I will boycott every boycottable until the zoo accedes to my demand for a referendum. That I won't fight anybody. He said it's okay, but I should consider an election. I told him no. We've been voting since 1953, if I'm not mistaken. What has come of it? Absolutely nothing. The zoo, as a contraption, instead of going forwards, is always going backwards every blessed year. Things are getting more difficult. Our children are dying in the Mediterranean, they're drowning. Our daughters have nobody to marry them because most of our men, our brothers, our uncles, our cousins are in severe difficulties abroad. Some are in jail, some are struggling. Some will have to marry somebody from that very country where they are domiciled to be able to get their papers. Nobody is interested in our sisters back home. And I told Chief Ward that I cannot go through life like this. I cannot tolerate this any longer. That something must give way. That I have no interest in being the leader of Biafra. I have no interest in politics. All I want is for our people to be free. I explained to him very calmly and with respect. We took pictures, we had lunch, and we went away. They went behind my back to plan to kill me when I did nothing wrong to them. They came to my house, as we all know, on the 14th of September of last year, to kill me and every living being in my house. I don't know if Britain is involved, but when I return to the UK, we shall find out. Okay, Zia Yibazu, Dave Omahi, Niawodo had their statements prepared for my obituary. They had gone to plan with the traditional rulers of all the other geopolitical zones in the zoo to come down to address Biafrans on why my death was a good thing for our people. Go through Okezie Ibazu's statements, it's all there and self-evidently so. The Ohanese and Igbo political class, Southeast governors, used Fulani military apparatus to try and assassinate me in the same way they've been doing, as they did in Abat and Pon, Shailugu, Igbocha, in Aba. All we are asking for is for our freedom. But Igbo men that claim they are politicians brought death to us. When you ask them, but what wrong have we done? They say we are heating up the polity. That's all. We've explained to them time and time again, we want to be free. Perhaps some of you are comfortable being slaves to Fulani people. IPOB is not comfortable and can never ever be comfortable with it. We made it very clear and shall continue to make it very clear that we are not retreating. We cannot surrender. It is either Biafra or we die getting Biafra. Mind you, it was these semi-poor politicians that crafted my bail conditions. Some of you do not know. They wanted to cage IPOB the same way they caged Masop and rendered it useless through financial inducements and military intimidation. Even those that claim they're part of the intelligentsia, when they go to Abuja, they lose their voice, they cannot speak on behalf of our people. They are humiliated day after day for daring to demand what is right for their people. The only time that they have anything tangible to say to us is every 4 years during the time to vote. But come next year, we will tell these corrupt politicians that Biafra land belongs to Biafrans. All we're interested in is freedom, our liberty as a people, equity and fairness that we will never, ever, ever negotiate away. If indeed, as we know, that IPOB is fighting for all the things that have been elucidated above, why is it that Ohanis and Debo and some Igbo governors would like to have me killed? Why do they want me dead?
Everybody that is going to listen to this video and the home of therefore, on the night, the day you will come, you will see it. Even if you come, you will see that the Biafrans have rejected everything that has to do with the zoo. We have rejected the zoo a million times more than 100 years back ago. And we will continue to reject it until we have established our sovereign and independent Biafra nation.
It's M. Josh on the
It's time to break loose from the chains. It's time for our freedom. Africa. Cause we can never let them negotiate our freedom, no. Hundreds of years is gone. No Messiah came for the black man. Told us that Jesus died for us, but the black man still they suffer. The truth we say, Africa will rise at the right time, and the time we're waiting for is right now. No one can hold the truth for a long time. Oh no! So stay awake. The sun is risen from the east, and the Messiah you're waiting is right here. And no one is gonna try to stop that. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, freedom the Kano. Oh, song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, freedom the Kano. Freedom the Kano. Freedom for Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa. White man fighting for self-determination is celebrated. Black man seeking for self-determination is a separatist and a terrorist. Yeah. When they jail a black freedom fighter, they jail in African freedom. Don't I have rights to my self-determination? Is that a crime? Oh no. Don't I have rights to live? Don't I have rights to express myself? Don't I have rights to speak? Can't I complain if I'm marginalized? The genocide in the land that nobody even cared about. Even when I try to speak, my voice is muted every time. I'm like a slave in my land, I can't take it anymore. I hope the world is listening to my plight. I can hear a great call for justice. Freedom, let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, the song of salvation. Freedom, let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom, Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom for Biafra. Oh, 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 oh. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa.
Amen. So, on the issue of this Nnamdi Kanu, listen, what I'm saying now, I know is going viral. Nnamdi Kanu is a delicate material. Let the federal government handle him with care. There is a kind of bone that you may mistakenly swallow. You have to be careful in bringing it out or in sending it down. No problem. If you want to swallow it, problem. If you want to vomit it, wahala. That is Nnamdi Kanu for you. So we have to be careful. I will rather plead with the governor that came for Bazaar, both my governor Ugwai, His Excellency, and the governor of Ebonyi, Dave, and the other governors in Igbo land. You better come together without delaying and have a meeting on how to bring out this bone so that the entire cardiothoracic zones will be preserved, devoid of harm to other sensitive nervous organ. Because other sensitive organs can be affected, and paralysis may be the resultant effect. Abure ebeni no dudu bere ka na-eti. O were ebe odudu ga-ebe. Gwe nwanne gị na ọ bụrụ ebe niile anaghị eti odudu bere ebe niile. Maka were ebe ị ga-eti imebie ihe. Oh, maka ndị na-eti odudu. Nnamdi Kanu is like odudu buried somewhere. Ị ga-enu ntị n'egwu a m na-agụ kịta. Onye gburu Nnamdi nọ na be ha, ogbo ya egbu. Nwachukwu ogbo ya egbu, onye ga-eri ya ogbo ya egbu. Onye hụrụ Nnamdi nọ na be ha, ogbo ya egbu. Ogbo ya egbu, onye ga-eri ya ogbo ya, onye ga-eri ya ogbo ya egbu, onye ga-eri ya asị m 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 onye ga-eri ya Nwachukwu onye ga-eri ya asị m onye ga-eri ya onye egbugwana ya asị m 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 onye ga-eri ya onye ga-eri ya Nnamdi bụ Nwachukwu asị m onye ga-eri ya onye bụ Nwachukwu onye bụ Nwachukwu Nnamdi bụ nwanne Nnamdi bụ nwanne onye ga-eri ya onye ga-eri ya